I wanted to make a drunken video about a book that I really enjoyed, but I've not picked it yet. Oh yeah, let's do this one. Okie dokie. So, this book is called Voices from Chernobyl by Svetlana Alexivich, and it's actually the very first chapter made me cry. So, anyway, the general point of it is that it's interviews with people who survived or were party to what happened after the incident in Chernobyl. And I'm sure that it was some random claim by some Guardian journalist, as there always is, because Guardian journalists are fuckheads, about how like this and this and this thing in the Guardian was like the first interview with people who had experienced Chernobyl, but it wasn't, because this book I've had since I just started maritime college, but I'm pretty sure it was published before then. Yeah, it was published in 1997, so yeah, that's how much credence you can give to the Guardian. Anyway, it's really good because it doesn't really cast any judgment on the incident in terms of how it is within the USSR. And I think that, personally, as people who are interested in communism and such, obviously the Chernobyl incident happened quite close to the end of the fall of the USSR and well past its peak, to be honest, and well past any point that it was salvageable, in my opinion. But obviously that's a thing for another video. But anyway, the important thing about this book was that I just quite liked how, I don't know if granular is the right term, because I know loads of people use that, but I never really quite understood what it meant. But anyway, like, it's like piece by piece. It's not like say for example a history of the incident. It's literally how people saw it from their perspective, and I found it very I don't know, the first chapter really upset me, but a lot of it just really drew me in. Oh wow. I feel like a lot of this was the inspiration for that horrendously I don't want to say inaccurate, but let's just say twee HBO type drama thing that they did. But like, they're talking about the household pets here. So it was like this. They call me into the regional executive. Listen, Chairman Hunter, there are still many household pets in the zone. Cats, dogs. In order to avoid an epidemic, we need to exterminate them. Go to it. Which obviously must have been the thing where they had that leaping off point for that episode where he goes off to kill the dogs and stuff. But as we know, lots of the dogs and cats and stuff that people left behind survived and went off into the woods and had a great life, to be honest, because nowadays the abandoned area is quite lush and verdant and full of creatures, and it's quite, I mean, I'm not going to obviously say it's a benefit, but it turned out better than people could have hoped for, at least the biology in the area, not necessarily humans. And I do actually feel, here we go, here's a nice little insert called A Scream. Stop, good people, we have to live here. You talk and leave, but we have to live here. Here, I have a medical cards right in front of me. Every day I have them. I take them into my hands every day. Anya Bowdy, born 1985. 380 becquerels. Oh my god, this is about how many becquerels they've received. They say this is impossible. How can they live with this in their thyroids? but has anyone ever run this sort of experiment before? I read and I see every day. Can you help? No. Then why did you come here? To ask questions, to touch us, to refuse to trade? I refuse to trade on their tragedy, to philosophize. Leave us alone, please. We need to live here. So that's from Arkady Bogdanovich, a rural medical attendant. So basically, like, he's saying, like any normal person, I say any normal person, any pragmatic person would say, why are you here just gawking at the tragedy if you're not here to help? Just fuck off. Anyway, yeah, this book is amazing because obviously the people who lived through it, to be honest, have the best insight on the situation. Oh, man. This boy died yesterday. He gave me some candy. Like, the first chapter just knocked me for 6. It's incredible, but very, very sad and quite long. I'm not going to read it. But it was just a description by the wife of one of the firefighters about how her husband died and how she cared for him and how she tried, basically in the face of indisputable death, like it was just going to happen. So, yeah. Anyway, my interest in Chernobyl is actually quite apart from my interest in communism or the Soviet Union or anything like that. My interest in Chernobyl is the interest in disasters as is applicable to disaster prevention, which is why I'm really interested in reading disaster reports, which is why that eventually, once I get my camera up and running, I am going to make a video on the Estonia disaster. So anyway, since we are here, I'm going to make this video into a video of my intent because I am drunk and excited. So anyway, right. Because I have been severely within myself and also somehow disconnected from reality for like 10, 15, well, let's not say 15 because I did make videos quite recently, but you know, I've been disconnected for a long time, but now I am ready to come back and do stuff. So my intention is to talk about books again, to talk about accident reports again, and to maybe talk about cats again. So that's what's going to happen. Oh, and also maybe talk about movies, but without clips, because I don't have the technological know-how to do that. I have glasses now also, so that's the thing. So yeah. Anyway, Svetlana Alexivich, Voices from Chernobyl, highly recommend. I bought it for, I don't remember because I think I must have bought it abroad because there's no writing on the back there. Anyway, 100%, if you're interested in Chernobyl because of that programme, definitely approach the situation with an open mind because obviously that programme is biased, and read actual information and historical sources on the incident, such as this, and also such as this. Serhiy Plokhy, Chernobyl, A History of a Tragedy, which is I mean, I've only read one other book by Serhiy Plokhy, which was about a history of Ukraine. But to be honest, he seems to be quite, I would say, like straightforward. Like he doesn't seem to cast too much judgment. It doesn't seem to be too biased. Obviously, everyone's got their own bias, but it's not overtly biased in the sense that it's like pushing a narrative in the way that the Chernobyl drama was, for example. So, yeah, highly recommend. And I also recommend A History of Ukraine by Serhiy Plokhy if you're interested, because it's quite interesting to learn about how Ukraine came about as a country and just the history of that area of the world generally, actually. And everything on my thingy. Okay, this is Indy. He smells of meat.